Hi, my name is Courtney, and I'm very passionate about helping women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one you had envisioned for yourself, but you got to do something. You can't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Trust me, I did that for a long time, and all that happened was I got fatter and sicker and more depressed. So don't do that. But you know what's really good for your mental health? Friendships. And I'll be real honest, this surprises a lot of people because I'm very bubbly, I'm very outgoing. I have a hard time. I do have a hard time with friendships. I'm very skeptical of people and their motives. It's just what it is. I always have been. I don't see that changing. But friendships are really important. And I think when you do have health issues and you see people drop out of your life so quickly, people that you thought were friends, people you thought you were close to, and they can't handle it for whatever reason. They just vanish. It's weird. It's so weird. Like, I'm so sorry that my health issues are so hard for you to deal with. But anyway, friendships are very important. And I find it both highly amusing and really sad at the same time that I can quite honestly tell you I have a far better social support network in Texas than I do in Alaska. Um, in fact, I was talking to somebody recently and I said, if I have osteoporosis in my hips, I'm young for that, but it's genetic for me. And I was so pissed, like all these years of bearing exercise, and I'm still in this position. But it is what it is. But that kind of changes my perspective on the icy, snow-filled Alaskan winters. Anyway, I was talking to somebody the other day and I said, if I were to break my hip in Texas, I can think of four women, bam, off the top of my head that I could call and they would do whatever they could to help me. I know this for a fact. I've lived here my whole life. There are two women that I would call that I know would help me. Now, that being said, this is in large part my own fault. By the way, this information is from the Mayo Clinic. See, it's so important. Even the Mayo Clinic's talking about it. But because of my health situation and because of the climate here and how the climate impacts my health situation, I don't get out much. I quite literally. Now you add the osteoporosis into it. And look, I know I shouldn't put it out there. I shouldn't project it, but I'm freaking terrified I'm going to fall and break my hip. My mom fell and broke her hips. She was older than I am now, but not that much older. And I'll tell you, it certainly wasn't what killed her, but her quality of life was never the same after that. And that weighs really heavy on my mind. And here's the big difference. My mom absolutely loved Alaska. She was willing to accept that risk. I don't like it here that much. It's so hard on my body already. If I fall and break my hip, I am gonna be so unhappy. But if I do, I do. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But anyway, because of my health, boy, that was a long way to get there. Because of my health situation, I don't get out much. It is to a very large degree my own fault that I don't have a better social circle here. But let's talk about why friendships are important. Some of the benefits of friendship include, but of course are not limited to, just give you a sense of belonging and purpose. Before I found my church in Texas, I was very skeptical of church. I had my beliefs, but church, it's a hard sell for me because I am very distrustful of people's motives. But I'll tell you what, two of the four women that I would call in a crisis in Texas, I know through my church family. I definitely have a sense of belonging and of purpose when I attend church. And that's why I finally started going here in Alaska, and I found a really wonderful little church here. I like my church in Texas better. It's my home, but I did find a nice place to go. And you know what? I've already made somebody there that made somebody met somebody there that I feel a real kinship with. She also has health issues, and they're pretty severe. So we've connected. It's funny how quickly you can connect with somebody else in these circumstances. Friendships increase our level of happiness. Well, sure. You feel connected, you feel like you have a purpose, of course you're going to be happier. They help lower your stress. Look, when you're dealing with all this health stuff and you're just up to here with it every day, it gets it's isolating, it gets lonely. Of course, it's going to decrease my stress if I can reach out and touch base with somebody, you know? Excuse me. I swear I have a cold like the entire from September through spring if I don't get out of here. Um, Friendships improve our sense of confidence. Well, sure, other people very rarely will somebody else see you through the harsh lens that we tend to view ourselves. Good grief, English is my first language. Um, but when you spend time with other people, you start to see what some of the qualities that they see in you. And at least that's been my experience. And it really does increase your confidence. It helps foster healthy habits. You tend to, I have a lot of friends in Texas. It's a lot more religious down there. They don't drink like they do in Alaska. Okay, my cynical self, what the hell else is there to do at 40 below when it's pitch black? Anyway, they don't drink down there. I have a lot of online friends that are fitness friends because I like to exercise. Um, my Sorry, I just got super distracted. Obviously, squirrel. I am super tired, y'all. I think I got about 3 hours of sleep, so be patient with me. Hobbies. Hobbies are a really good way, a good healthy relationship. My dear friend, Gingy, is an amazing, she's seriously a professional knitter and she's teaching me how to knit. And I was so proud to tell her this morning that I can finally read my knitting enough. I had to pull some rows out of a project I'm working on. And I was like, oh man, I'm never going to figure this pattern out. But I just took a few deep breaths and I sat down. I figured it out. But knitting with her, that's a healthy habit. That's certainly a lot healthier than going to a bar with somebody. Okay. In fairness, it's been a really gosh darn long time since I've gone into a bar, but you get my point. But how do you make friends? If this isn't something that's natural to you, how do you do it? And I'll tell you, I am super outgoing. In fact, when I go back to Texas, they want me to be on the welcoming committee at my church because I am very good at greeting people and making people feel included and welcomed. Anyway, you get my point. Oh man, I'm so tired. Um, but I even have a hard time. This is so weird, but I'm excellent with people on a very superficial level. Okay, great. That's fine. I don't need to know anymore. Have a nice day. Nice to see you. Bye. I'm that person. I really am. And that's not fair to people. But how do you make friends if it's not natural? Well, first, you have to be patient. It takes time to develop a relationship. And just because maybe you go to lunch with somebody and you think you hit it off, well, they may not. You have to be able to accept that. And if you do hit it off, it's you can't expect that person to be your new best friend forever. It doesn't work that way. You have to put in a little time. You have to find commonalities. If you don't have anything in common, what the hell are you going to build your relationship on? But oh my gosh, my notes. Haha. It says The Office. My experience, honestly, is The Office is a horrible place to make friends. Horrible. Those are very superficial friends. And that's okay. Just remember, those are not very often, at least not in my experience, those don't develop into very deep friendships, with one very notable exception in my case. Um, but maybe you're taking a class in something. Find somebody in that class. Find people who are interested in your hobbies and your activities. Go to church. Go to one of the local craft stores and take a class. Go volunteer in your community. But when you do these things, it obviously it's going to expose you to people with similar interests. You've got to have that to build. You've got to have something in common to build a true friendship. Oh man, I am just all over the place. This is so embarrassing. But explore some new interests. There's got to be something out there you've always wanted to try. Give it a try. Even if it's something you're doing online, guess what? You can find so many online communities of like minded people. But you're going to have to put yourself out there a little bit. Now, here's where I falter. Here's where I not just falter, I fall flat on my damn face and I'll own it. If you want to build friendships, you have to extend and accept invitations. Good grief. I swear I haven't been drinking. I'm doing sober October. But anyway, I don't know why I'm just that tired, I guess. But you do have to extend and accept invitations. And this is something really difficult for me because of my health situation. And a lot of people, hey, look, I'm sorry. I know we were supposed to go out tonight, but I'm flaring. I can barely move. I'm going to have to take a rain check. That shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. Oh my gosh, are you flaking out on me again? Well, I guess that's one way to look at it. And here's my thing on this. Boy, I'm all over the place. Y'all are best patient as hell. But here's my take on this. If it's really that big of a deal to you, instead of giving your chronically ill friend or family member grief because they can't go, why don't you not make it about you and say, hey, I'm sorry you don't feel good. How about I pick up your favorite meal and I'll come over and we'll just hang out? And then do just that. Don't expect them to wait on you because I can tell you, you'd be showing the door of my house really damn fast, but just come over and be quiet company. My best friend was just in town. She lives in Montana, unfortunately, but she was just here. And I told her the thing I like most about her, she's one of the few people that I can sit in absolute silence with for hours, and it's no big deal. If I don't want to talk, I don't have to. And she's the same way. That being said, we're very close. And if one of us is chatty and the other's not, we will work out a happy medium. But she's the kind of friend who would do that for me. You'd be surprised at how few people will do that. Instead, they'll just bitch, oh my gosh, you're not going. Why do you always do this? Well, because I got health issues up to my eyeballs. That's why. But we do have to extend and accept invitations. Now, I'm better at extending them, but my extension is always, hey, let's meet for lunch. Hey, let's meet for dinner. Because I don't want you in my space. And that's nothing personal. It's not. But I used to be so extraordinarily extroverted, but with my health issues, I've become very introverted and I'm amazing with people until I'm done. And then when I'm done, that's why I can't have you in my space. I need to get away and I need to get away right now. Anyway, holy crap, I am all over the place. You need to strengthen the friendships that you have. Don't take people for granted. Don't just call somebody when you need a favor. You know that's crappy, and you know that we've all done it to people, but don't do that. This shouldn't need to be said, but it does. You need to be kind. You need to listen. You need to shut the hell up and listen. And you need to listen from the perspective of understanding, not with the intention of responding. And most of us, and I'm very, very guilty of this, you'll be listening to somebody and something will pop in your mind and all you can think is hurry up and be quiet so I can speak. That's definitely not listening to understand. If you want to build a real friendship, you're going to have to open up. You're going to have to share a little bit. And I'm not telling you to dump all your dirty laundry out on the first lunch date, for goodness sakes. This is part of the being patient aspect. But you can't build a relationship with somebody if you're not willing to be a little vulnerable. And when somebody opens up to you, you need to be trustworthy. Shut your freaking mouth. If somebody confides in you, don't betray that. That's a tremendous honor. I've had people completely screw me over and I've kept their secrets. Why? It's not anything to do with them. It has to do with me and my sense of integrity. I have to be able to look at myself in the mirror at the end of the day. And if I get into that petty back and forth crap with somebody, I'm just not interested. So be trustworthy. Even if they prove not to be, hold your own integrity. You need to be available. I'm not very good at that either. Look, it's hard. You guys, if you don't know anybody in a similar situation to mine, you can't possibly understand how hard it can be to talk ourselves into getting out of the house. Most of us have jobs or kids. We certainly have household responsibilities regardless of anything else. And we've got these health issues. We're tired. We're exhausted. It's not even just tired. We're flat exhausted. But we still need to make the effort because it is really important to your mental health. And if you've got health issues, you already know. You don't need me to tell you. Your mental health is directly tied to your physical health. So you got to make those connections. You have to build those relationships. Everybody likes to say, "Oh, I don't need anybody," but sorry, bullshit. Yeah, you do. We are a social species. That's just the way we're made. Anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox. I am so tired. I'm not even going to rewatch this because I know this was an absolute train wreck. But if you made it this far, God bless you. You're a patient person. I will be back tomorrow around 11 o'clock Alaska time because I'm not doing a video Friday. I was cleaning house the other day. Excuse me. Part of my health issues I put off because I'm so tired and I don't have the energy to do this. I don't have the energy to do this. And then I'll get this little weird burst of energy. So I try to do all the things in one day and I can't. And I put myself into the state I'm in right now, but I also broke two of my fingernails. And if you know me at all, I'm pretty vain about my fingernails. I have an amazing, actually two amazing nail artists here in Alaska, and they give me the most beautiful designs. And I really loved this set. And now I've got two broken ones and they make me sad, but I'm going to get them fixed Friday because I can't do it during the week next week. I'll start my new job Monday. Anyway, y'all take care. Have a great afternoon and remember to be kind. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.